Alrighty, everyone. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Advisory. I hope you guys are all doing well. I have a couple of announcements before we get into the activity for the day. The first is something hopefully that you have seen flyers about and this slide in Advisory this week, but we have auditions coming up for The Lion King. Lion King is the musical this year that they're doing. They're doing a shortened version of the big Broadway play, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you are interested in being in that play, you can go to the audition from 4:30 to 6. It's going to include singing and reading from the score and a little bit of dance and a movement. So make sure that you bring comfortable clothes and do your audition there. If I was a student, I would go for the role of Rafiki. Yeah, I think I got that part in the bag. And I know that I had mentioned before that we were done with how to be a Longhorn, but truth be told, you can never be done learning how to be a Longhorn, and today is no exception, because today we're going to go over very briefly
How to be a Longhorn.
At a pep rally. Rule number 1, respect the time.
The pep rally starts at 9 a.m. sharp. Students can start entering the gym at 8:40, and the rally will last 30 minutes, so make sure that you get to your seats early.
Rule number 2, keep it classy.
This just means no throwing stuff, no profanity. Keep it classy, Longhorns, all right?
Rule number 3 is share the hype.
It's a time to get excited. It's a time to get our athletes hyped up for their game and us hyped up to support them. So share in the hype and get excited. Even if you're feeling a little groggy in the morning, the best way to shake that off is to get hype. I mean, look at this kid. You got to be at least half as hype as this kid, all right? At least half. We can do that. That's still a lot of hype.
Rule number 4, respect the speaker.
We will have some speakers that take the mic, and so make sure that in those moments that you quiet down and listen.
Rule number 5, stay engaged and show your support.
We're all in this together. It's not just the football team out there or the volleyball team or the band. They are our fellow Longhorns and our fellow students, and they need our support because they are supporting us by representing our school so well.
Rule number 6, clean up after yourself.
This one's pretty simple. Pick up your trash if you have any. Nothing is worse than picking up after another human that could have done so themselves, so don't be that person. We also have some time-honored W.T. White traditions that we take part in at pep rallies and football games, and there are 3 that I want to talk about that I want to make sure you are prepared for. Number 1 is the fight song. When you hear the fight song, you stand up and you throw your horns up. We show that we are one family of Longhorns by all standing up and raising our long horns to the sky when the fight song is playing. And it'll sound something like this. The second tradition you got to be prepared for is our alma mater. Our alma mater is a song that has actual lyrics that we can sing along with as the band plays. And I'll have the lyrics up here on the screen. And if you don't get all the lyrics, that's okay. Just get the really loud ones that the cheerleaders, scream out. This is what that'll sound like. So doing we honor thy name, great alma mater. And the third tradition that will take place in right before the end of the pep rally is our class yells. And all that looks like is the cheerleaders will start a yell and we will go through each grade, freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors, to see which class has the best and loudest yell. So it'll look something like this.
Stand up and cheer, let us know you're here. Go, horns, go, 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 freshmen! Stand up and cheer, let us know you're here. Go, horns, go, 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 sophomores! Stand up and cheer, let us know you're here. Go, horns, go, 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 juniors! Stand up and cheer, let us know you're here. Go, horns, go, 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 seniors!
To victory!
Yeah, you may not believe it, but all those scenes of all those people yelling were from actual pep rallies in our past. So I will see you tomorrow at the pep rally. Remember that it starts in the morning. So be sure to be there, be hyped, be respectful, and let's have a great first pep rally tomorrow. All right, so those are our announcements. What we are getting into today is a question that I think we all ask ourselves at one point when it comes to school, or really when it comes to anything that we do, which is, why are we here? And it seems like a simple question, right? Well, Mr. Hall, we are here to go to school.
I'm here because my mom told me to.
I'm here because the state of Texas told me to.
And all that makes sense, right? There are reasons that we come to school that are legal and logistic, but those are not enough to keep me waking up every morning, right? I have to have some sort of purpose. I have to feel like I'm actually doing something worthwhile. And that's what I want to get into today, is the purpose of education. Like, why are we even here at school in the first place? And it prompts the real deeper question, which is, why get an education at all?
Thank goodness Mr. Hall is finally talking about something up to my speed. Why do I need an education, okay? I don't need to know how to do math to do what I want to do in life.
I don't want to get an education. I just want to live out in the woods and subsist on the land.
And that's what we're going to be thinking about today. And that's what you're going to be thinking about in your advisory groups. Well, let's see a couple of answers to this question to kind of guide our thinking. One of the answers that I found that I thought was interesting was from the Texas Association of School Boards. And of course, our school boards are the ones that make a lot of the decisions when it comes to our education and what we do and how we do it. And so it's interesting to see their take on it. They say that there are three main, most important ways that public education transforms students. And it says public schools exist for three primary reasons. Number one, develop a productive workforce. A good education makes sure that people that go into the workforce actually know what they're doing, which is very important when it comes to things like, I don't know, building bridges. Their second important way is to create an informed citizenry, which just means that we want everybody who is a citizen, everybody who votes, everybody who participates in society to be as informed and knowledgeable as possible. And the third is to provide for social mobility. And they describe this as the American dream, that if you get an education and you get a good job because of that education, then you can rise up financially and socially because of the education that you get. And these are all well and good, but sometimes that's not enough for us to feel a purpose when we come to school, right? Sometimes it can be hard to keep these things in mind when we're at school. So for another answer to this question, why we get educated, I found this short explanation by this guy. What's his name? His name is Neil deGrasse Tyson. No, Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's an astrophysicist. You've probably seen him on a lot of TV shows, but he has a really good answer to the question, well, why am I learning this specific thing, right? I'm never going to use this. That's something that you hear sometimes, especially in math classes. Shout out to my math teachers, okay? I'm sorry that I said that when I was in high school, and turns out I do need a lot of what you teach. But let's see his explanation here. It's called Debunking the Pointless Education Myth. Whoa, hey, yo.
People think that when they take math in school, there's the common response like, I will never need to use this for the rest of my life as they learn trig identities or the Pythagorean theorem or whatever it is that we all remember learning, feeling pretty sure it's never going to show up again. But that misses something important. It misses the fact that the act of learning how to do the math establishes a new kind of brain wiring in your mind, a kind of problem-solving brain wiring. So it's not about what you learned, it's about what methods, tools, and tactics you had to develop in order to solve the problem that you may never see again for the rest of your life, but you will see other problems where these methods and tools will become immensely valuable to you. It's no different from in the liberal arts, where if you're tasked with writing a term paper on some leader from some chapter in the history of the world, you may never need to know about that leader again for the rest of your life, unless you're on Jeopardy or something. So what's the point? Well, the point is, well, what did you do to conduct the research? What did you do to compose the sentences? Your choice of words to communicate an idea, a fresh idea on top of already known ideas. That is the value of education. Not how much information they can pour in your head. It's how equipped you are to explore the world on your own after you get out.
Star Talk. And Neil deGrasse Tyson has a pretty good idea here about education. Maybe you're taking an algebra class right now and you're thinking to yourself,
I have never seen my parents or any other adult other than a math teacher use algebra.
and while there are definitely fields of work and fields of study that will use algebra regularly, as Neil talks about here, it's not about how much information we can pour into your head. It's about developing the tools to problem solve and to figure out future problems and future issues when you come to them in life. And so this is what we are going to be thinking about today. This is the next slide. It says, as a class, come up with a purpose statement that answers the questions, why are we here? What are we here to do? And how can we do it well? You can work individually for a minute or in groups to write a statement, but I want your entire class to agree on a single purpose statement that I want your teacher to send me in an email. You can work individually to brainstorm, you can work in groups to brainstorm, but I want one single purpose statement from each advisory class. And then I will compile all those statements and then we're going to talk about them in a future video. But I want you to think, what is the purpose of our education? Why are we here? What are we doing here? And think about it internally. Why am I here? Other than the fact that I'm a kid and kids have to go to school, what do I hope to get out of my education? And how can I think about those things whenever things get tough or boring or whatever? I look forward to hearing your purpose statements. Enjoy that. Also, if you didn't get to fill out the form yesterday because you were absent or anything like that, then please do so today. I've included this slide as well. If you've already done this yesterday, you don't have to do it again. But if you didn't get to fill out the form, please do so. It goes through how your year is going so far and also asks that you sign to acknowledge the new computer policies. But that's all from me. Until tomorrow, be good to yourself and others, and I'll see you at the pep rally in the morning.